Hi, and thank you for joining me for this video. So we're all guilty of wasting money on overpriced and overrated camping products when all we want are camping products that work really well and that don't break the bank. So in this video, I'm going to show you this fire pit, which costs £10 or less, and it works really well. I have to say, I've been using this fire pit for a few weeks now and I have been super impressed. Now, if you want to buy this fire pit for £10 or less, you will have to go online to Temu or AliExpress. You can purchase this fire pit from Amazon, but you will pay a little more. Now, I have noticed that this fire pit does sell under different brand names. However, whatever brand name this sells under, it's ultimately the same fire pit. I have also heard that you can get this fire pit in a couple of different sizes, as well as a tripod version. I haven't seen those versions, but the one I'm going to show you today, this little portable fire pit, is the one that's most advertised and readily available. So let's see what we get for our money. So everything you get comes in this display box. There's some pictures of the fire pits on the display box, as well as some information. It also does give you some steps on how to assemble this fire pit. I have to say though, the steps that it gives you are not very clear, but we will have a good look on how to assemble this fire pit correctly. But for the moment, let's get everything out of this display box. Inside the storage box, you will find another little storage bag with everything in. Now, I have to say, this little storage bag is not very good quality. I think the material is made from a really low quality polyester. The zip is plastic. It does have a handle on the top, and I have to say the stitching is not great. So if this little storage bag broke tomorrow, I wouldn't be surprised. But then again, in the time I've been using this little storage bag with everything in, it hasn't broken yet. So maybe I'm being a bit harsh with my judgment. Now, the storage bag itself, the length comes in at around 33 centimeters and the width comes in at around 10 centimeters. And then the packed weight comes in at about 577 grams. You then get your base, your mesh top, and some clips. Now, everything here is made from stainless steel, apart from the rubber feet on the legs of the fire pits. Right, time to get everything assembled. Now, when it comes to the main base, you have 4 of these metal tubes which are already attached to the main base. You then have 4 legs, and then you have 4 extension tubes which you have to take out to start connecting. Now I've removed all the legs and the extendable tubes from the center base. As I said, you are left with 4 tubes that remain attached to the center base. All you have to do now is just connect your legs to one end and then those extendable tubes to the other. Now, it doesn't matter what end you put what, because the connections on both ends are exactly the same. So I normally start with the legs, take one of the legs and just pop it in. And then when you've done all the legs, all you do is take your extendable tubes and put them the other side. It's that easy. Right, I'm going to keep doing that now. Now, when you've got to this point, all you have to do is start fanning the legs out. If you just go around and do one leg at a time, they will all slowly fan out, and then you can put that down like that, and there's your base ready for the mesh top. It's now time to get your mesh panel ready so we can connect it to the top of your fire pit. Now, you will notice on your mesh panel there is a little hole in each corner of the panel. All you have to do then is take one of your clips. Now, as you can see, you have a big loop one side and you have 2 smaller loops on the other. All you have to do is push the two smaller loops together and then take one of the holes on your mesh panel and just push those straight through. So it looks like that. You then obviously do one for each corner. Now you do get 5 of these little clips. You will only need 4 of them. One is a spare. So the last thing to do is to connect your mesh top to your base. And all you have to do is take one of your little loops, which I showed you earlier, put one of the loops on the inside of the hollow tubes, and then just push the other loop next to it into the tube. And there you go. That's connected to the corner. And then all you have to do is go do the other 3 corners. So that's the base assembled. Now I've taken the time to show you how to assemble the base because the instructions you get, or lack of instructions, certainly don't make things very clear. But honestly, like most things, when you're putting stuff together, it's a little bit of trial and error. But when you've done it a couple of times, you'll have this assembled within a couple of minutes. Now the base itself, size-wise, from the ground to the highest point, is about 32 centimeters. The length is 42 centimeters and the width is 42 centimeters. Now this does have a max user weight of 12 pound or 5 kilograms. Now I have to say, I wouldn't be putting 12 pound or 5 kilos worth of wood on this fire pit. Not that I don't think it's strong enough, it just would be too much. You know, you don't have to go so far as to start weighing your wood before you put it on this fire pit. I've used this fire pit, as I say, for a few weeks now, and I've had quite a lot on there, but it's certainly been a lot less than 5 kilos. As I say, 5 kilos or 12 pound of wood on here would just be too much. But listen, let's get some wood on, let's get this lit and see how well it works. Now, as you can see, this is burning really well. I can't tell you how impressed I've been with this little fire pit. Now, the reason the fire pit works so well is the amount of air and oxygen that it gets. It's getting air and oxygen from all sides, from the top, and also because you have the mesh, the air and oxygen come from underneath. So that in turn is going to give you a great flame, and then the flame is going to generate some fantastic heat. I have to tell you, it is roasting, and you could quite easily sit at least 4 people around this little fire pit and really get a nice bit of warmth. Now, can you cook on this fire pit? Yes, you can. From simply getting a stick or a skewer and toasting some marshmallows or holding some sausages over it, or when the wood and everything's died down, you could put a cup, or you could put a pot, or you could put a pan on here. So yes, you can cook on it. Now with the mesh, it is fine enough that it gets a nice bit of air and oxygen through, but it is not big enough that you start getting bits of debris falling through. You might get the odd tiny little bit come through, but other than that, there is basically nothing falling through. Now, as I said earlier, apart from this fire pit having that 12 pound, 5 kilo weight limit, you don't want to overload this fire pit, quite simply because it doesn't have any sides. And the last thing you want is a log or whatever you rolling off and falling on the floor. That could be disastrous. Right, let's talk pros and cons with this fire pit. So let's talk pros and cons, starting with the pros. Well, it's cheap, it's lightweight, it's a simple design, it's portable, it's easy and quick to assemble, it's also easy and quick to take it apart. It's just the reverse of putting it together. You get a really good flame on this fire pit because of the air and the oxygen that surrounds it. That is then gonna in turn generate some really nice heat. Can you cook on it? Yes. Cons, well, the storage bag is not very good. It is poor quality, but then again, it hasn't broken yet. You don't really get instructions with this fire pit. You do get some steps on the side of the display box, but to be honest, they're not very good. But what I would say is just the time you've had to go a couple of times putting this together, you will soon work it out, and you will have it assembled within a couple of minutes, and you will find what works for you. And then lastly, it doesn't have sides to it, so you have to be careful that a bit of wood or a log or whatever you've got on there doesn't roll off and fall on the floor, because that could be a disaster. But would I recommend this little fire pit? Absolutely. And for £10 or less than £10 even, for me, it's a no-brainer. How long will it last? Well, only time will tell. It's working really well at the moment. But on that note, if you've enjoyed this video, please hit the like button. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. It is absolutely free. And lastly, don't forget to turn on the bell notification so you can be notified every time I upload a new video. But until next time, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.